Hey there out there, how y'all doing today? Hey, has anybody out there ever been homeless or chronically homeless, indigent, without a place to live and no friends or family to help you? You don't live anywhere. And what has it any happened to anybody at the age of 50 or right thereabouts and they don't know what to do? Do you not know what to do? Or are you just one of those people that judge the homeless? Or are you one of those people that serve the homeless? Maybe you have an institution or an agency that's supposed to serve the homeless, but instead you use it for your own personal financial gain, meaning you're profiting off the suffering of the homeless you're supposed to help. What if you own a building where transitional housing is provided, or where homeless people live, or people that want not to be homeless live? And what if you're supposed to buy them all clothing when they arrive, but you never buy them clothing with that money and you give it to somebody else, which is what happened to me? Or what if when you're living there for months and months and months and they're supposed to be helping you with their housing, well, with your housing, but they're using it as their housing to put one of their gang members in it, and they sell it to somebody else in the community. And then they try and, open your mail sometimes or just not give it to you. Or you're trying to log on to the internet and you just can't seem to get into the internet because they don't like you. Or maybe it's because there's a certain staff member on staff that day who doesn't let you get in the internet, but other times they let you use the Wi-Fi. I don't know. It happens to me here where I live, but it's nothing new. This place has been established here for years and years and years. I wonder how many people wanted to use the internet while they lived here and they were not able. I wonder how many people lived here and continued to eat the food and drink the water, and kind of their symptoms got worse, their situation got worse. How many people here went down and sat in the television room and became friends blindly with the people in the television room, and then ended up in the alleyway or at someone's trap house? Or maybe they're just still living here years later and doing favors for the staff, or favors for the boss of the staff, or favors for the boss of Ward 7, or favors for the dirty pigs that we sometimes call police. And trust me, there's only a few dirty pigs. Most police are actually doing a very good job. What if those people are supposed to give you toilet paper and help you succeed, and instead when you ask for toilet paper, they look at you cross-eyed and say, "What do you mean?" Or what if use of modern technology is like not that big of a deal to most people? And what if they've coordinated with, say, Georgetown University and Regina LaBelle, one of their directors of policy, who used to be the drug czar for the United States of America, for the current President Joe Biden, and then also for President Obama? What if they put little cameras and things that are supposed to be fire alarms in your room and in your apartment, but they're really things that are coordinated to, say, chirp or go off together or by remote, or when you press a button on the app on your phone, or maybe a button in the control room here downstairs where only the staff are permitted? Hey, what about this? What if instead of putting regular water softener in the water, they put water softener in the water, which I don't know what the fuck that is. What if it's not the city that has poison water? What if the water is poisoned when it arrives here before it gets to us? What if your roommates steal your identification and information, or somebody else stole it and then passes it along to them once you move in, and then guess what they do? What if they order an ATM card and start a bank account in your name, but somehow you got the ATM card instead, and then your ex-roommate named Kevin says, "Hey, Nate, I'm going to need that card." But you held on to it all this time, and you actually filed a police report months ago with a little police number attached to it. These things are real. What if people actually treated you like a friend than a commodity? What if black people were not racist against white people? And I don't mean all the time, just sometimes, like living here. Or what if they're not really racist, but they're paid by the evil white people who run the place behind the scenes to try to act like racist people, but against white people, and they're black people, but it's white people telling the black people what to do? What if this? What if the new world situation, when everybody says, hey man, everything in this world is just black and white, but they forgot that the red, white, and blue decided that that was the case, and they're just teaching black people to act like white people of the old South, except for the black and the white Americans are traveling overseas all the time. And when they're going around, they figure out who the kids in poverty are around the world, but that are kind of smart, maybe even ruthless. And then they import them here to the United States to put them in a college program or a college preparatory course. And then they can go to master's school and get their degree to be a master and be just like the other white people who train them to be masters of other people. But guess what y'all forgot is that y'all are the masters. You're the new master class, the new master race, the people who master the world. You're the masters of the universe, because it's not just a physical world. It's ESP and magical stuff too. Plus it's the digital, which basically people figured out how to kind of harness and corral magic and ESP into a box, so to speak. Kind of like that movie Ghostbusters, when they catch them and put them in the box. The little monsters, the ghosts, the zombies, the... And then, what if there's a new group of people who learned how to track all that? It's called blockchain technology. And that's actually true. How do I know about it? Well, I went to the Innovation Conference back in 2020 at the Amalie Arena in Tampa. That's Tampa, Florida. You ask, how does a homeless man living out of his car get a ticket to an event like that was 2 days long with all the innovators from around the nation? Technology, space flight, robotics, medicine. Oh, even them big billionaire types like Sarah Blakely. I videotaped her speech that day. I met the mayor there too, Jane Castor. It was very nice to meet her and take pictures with her, a selfie. I don't know. The thing is this, right? Blockchain technology traces every single thing that's digital. And that's why they had those NFTs, because people started buying other people's digital art because they thought it was going to turn into money. It's not. NFTs and digital coin, those are ways for rich people to make money. I'm not going to tell you how they do it, but suckers who just put in a few $100s or a couple of thousand and think they're going to let it grow over time, well, those times that those digital coins and other things jumped or got tripled or 10 times or 100 times, and this includes that whole GameStop thing. There's a social media thing called Twitch. There's actually people who know who to watch for certain events in these digital realms, and they're told exactly when to buy. And I don't mean like next week, or I mean they watch Twitch religiously. And when they said sell Dogecoin, or when they said sell Bitcoin or GameStop, you sold immediately, because if you waited 10 minutes, instead of making $50,000, you might have only made, say, $30,000. And if you waited an hour, you would have only made $20,000. And if you waited an hour and 10 minutes, you probably would have lost money. Oh, my bad. I was making a video about how I can't get into the internet here where I live because people monitor my digital and jump into my phone. Now, the thing is it's not just the gangs who run Valley Place or the smart people from Georgetown University who planted their man Gus over here, who I think his name is really Doug, or who plant roommates in here to monitor me or act weird or whatever. But, you know, the thing is like when you're given the task to help homeless people or suffering people, and you kind of act like the American Medical Association, who basically they worship evil, and their symbol is two flying serpents wrapped around a stripper pole. And they like to experiment on human beings, but be silent about it. Don't say anything. Keep it invisible. Don't let anyone know that you're experimenting on actual humans. Human beings, those are people. You know, you're born as a baby, then you grow up to a child, then you become an adult, then you become a senior citizen and an elder. Hey, people experiment on people, do it to everyone. So science is basically silence. with an invisible L and a silent L. So don't say nothing if you're experimenting on people. Just don't say it. Don't hear nothing. And you didn't see it neither, did you? You did not see. Well, that's what they told people to say in other countries. They didn't know what they were saying. So when people would go, say, near the trains back in Nazi Germany, and they were training trains full of people, of humans, to camps where they're going to be gassed and experimented upon and put into forced labor or forced, shall we say, reproduction, breeding. Well, that's what they did in Germany. People didn't speak English, but Americans, well, they helped set up and fuel the rise of Adolf Hitler, including Prescott Bush and Getty, the supertanker oil man who made the deal with Saudi Arabia to put all the Pakistani slaves, keep them over there in the United Arab Emirates so they could do all the work in the oil fields for them. I think they have 20 to 25 million slaves there now, although they might call them employees. Unfortunately, a man who was building a airport for one of the princes in Dubai explained to me that in Dubai, or in the Emirates, that's just the Abu Dhabi or Dubai, they actually, at age of 18, the men get $250,000 a year right off the bat. And he also said that they all don't really work, and they've got 4 million Pakistanis who do the work in the oil fields for them. And the man was so bold to say they're basically just their slaves. I was like, dang, shorty. So anyways, people who don't talk about stuff or don't see it, like in the Germany times, the guards and the people would just say, not see, until everybody was saying not see. And then they realized they were saying they did not see it. But except for they spelled it Nazi. And they used an ancient Anasazi symbol for infinity or time called the swastika and made it evil. Today they use a woven triangle for white supremacy. It's called the Valknut or Valknot, I don't know. It's a major symbol in Ward 2 in Washington, D.C., which is the whole White House area. They call it the Golden Triangle, but look it up. The woven triangle is the new swastika. I first saw it years ago when my friend and pastor, Reverend Dr. Aaron Dobide Sr. said, hey, look, there's new Nazis in town, because it showed up in their window in Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is just south of Stafford, Virginia, a scary place where up until maybe a couple years ago, or they might still be, flying the racist rebel flag. The only reason people popped up with that it's heritage, not hate, is because Lynyrd Skynyrd got suckered into a contract with MCA Recording where they had to use the rebel flag as their symbol on tour and also on their first album. They said, fuck it, we'll take the money, until they represented, well, evil, hanging people from trees. Like if a white woman saw a black man say, wow, and look at her like she's beautiful, she could say, that nigger looked at me, and have him killed. And then they'll hang him by a tree and have a cookout and take pictures with their children with the dead man. And people say it's okay because he was black. Which brings me back to experimenting on human beings and all the dumb shit I'm talking about. When you experiment on people, you're evil. There's no reason ever to experiment on human beings. Science, all it is trying to make everything that's a natural healing remedy into a pharmaceutical synthetic product that can be over time just changed a tiny bit. So once people figure out what they're substituting for salt amphetamines or GHB or heroin, which is based upon the poppy plant, or cocaine from the coca plant, any drugs that are plant-based, science is all about turning it into a chemical so that it can be modified over time so nobody ever knows what's being done to them and being experimented upon. Two simple examples. Aspirin is the bark of the weeping willow tree. Mustard gas is simply chlorine gas. Chlorine is in a lot of our products just diluted down. So we're basically putting diluted mustard gas, which is a nerve agent that they started using in World War I upon the human race. This is the United States of America, where it all comes from. This is Washington, D.C., where I live. And now you know a little bit about me, my opinions, and what's being done to me here where I live and to other people here. And it's being done by NIH, Georgetown University, and a few other special folks. Fuck you.